Hello, this is Alejandro Bratti and William Isley from Unlock Clarity, and welcome to the Spanglish World Networks on Single TV, channel 250. Please remember to download both the Single TV app on the respective app stores on iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. The app is free and available in Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Roku, and all smart TVs. Today, I believe it's going to be a very, very good call because we're going to be talking about something that I believe for both of us is very powerful and very important. And it's the power of intuition and nurturing. So, how are you, William, today?
I am doing well.
Awesome. Today, the video, at least in my side, is not like completely great, but we will have a very good session. So let's start. So why power of intuition and nurturing? A few weeks ago, we started to talk about some energetic feminine and how that is not connected only to masculine or to male, but it's for both areas, for males and females. So we are not talking about this energetic or this energy only for women, but for everybody. And these two energies talking about the intuition and nurturing, it's exactly about that, understanding the power that it has in all of us to help us discover our self-discovery, to help us grow, to have deeper connections, connect to everything around us. And the first topic is intuition. So, with intuition, what we believe is that is the silent guide. Uh, Intuition is our inner guide, is the guide that we have inside of us that is helping us to take decisions without knowing like all the facts. And this is for me that I am coming from the world of being an engineer and having all the, I want to have all the facts, and I was always looking at the numbers, talking about an inner guide that doesn't have maybe sometimes connection with the numbers and the facts, but what is the belief inside and the feeling that I have inside of me is completely another level, and start to help us to find our true self, like how we have the answers within us.
So we have a comment here of how does one accept being a part of the whole? How does one connect with our intuition and specific practices? We will have an action list at the end of the show in, what are we looking at? 16 minutes.
Yes, Jesse and Enrique, nice to have you here in the call. This is part of a series that we are doing in LinkedIn, in Facebook, in YouTube, in Single TV. We are everywhere. And if you want to hear, this is about how the power of intuition can help you in your life, in your business, and in everything that we are doing. So when we are talking about intuition, it's about that unspoken wisdom that transcends logic and reasoning. That's maybe one of the things that I want to bring today. There is a quote when we were preparing for this topic that we love about Carl Jung, and he was saying, I am going to read it to avoid changing it, where it's like the creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity. The creative mind plays with the objects it loves. So, intuition is the manifestation of this instinct, enabling us to trust ourselves and making decisions that align with our higher selves. That's exactly what we're talking about intuition. So, what in your side, William, when we are talking about intuition, what comes to your mind? How we are using that even in business and in other areas of our lives.
Have you ever had that situation where a thing breaks, business, wherever, or something doesn't go quite right, and you just know how to fix it? You just know what needs to be done to make something work. That is a version of intuition. That is allowing the thing that knows to come through and just do what it knows to do.
Normally it's called like the sixth sense that we have. It's like, okay, that thing that we don't know why, but we know it already. That's exactly what we are talking about here when we are talking about intuition. It's like knowing exactly, okay, right now I have to talk, right now I have to wait, right now I can feel what is happening in the environment, I can feel what is happening in the people around me. That normally is part of the intuition, and learning to have that instinct help us to really develop ourselves in a better way.
And a lot of it isn't anything we have to learn. It comes down to we already have it. We've sometimes turned it off, or we've just told ourselves we don't need to listen to it. How do we separate the noise from the spirit? That takes a great deal of practice, or at least it did for me.
Exactly, more than learn is a practice of understanding how to develop something that maybe we had since we were kids, but we forgot about that with life and everything that was happening and everything that we were learning. Like, okay, like I was saying at the beginning, I am an engineer and I only want to see facts. And it's like, okay, so you are losing this part of you, the intuition, something that you have inside of you that can help you to develop something bigger inside of you.
So, yeah. Does it make sense to move on to the nurturing part, where we
Yes.
where we save space to the intuition to come out and play?
So just quick question. We have questions from Jesse. How do we separate the noise from the spirit? That's something that I want to ask you, William. That is a very good question from Jesse.
Yes, that's the one I was just reading and saying that it takes a lot of practice. But how do we know what's the noise and what's the spirit? When you say spirit, I could go 5 different directions with the word spirit. So please be a little more specific. And you also asked what form of practices. The first one, the most important one, is simply listening to the heart and the gut. And if the head brain, the heart brain, and the gut brain are not in alignment, our life is a mess. And so the intuition comes from the heart and the gut more than not. So if we practice listening to our bodies and what doesn't feel right, that can be a great start. That will take months to practice in and of itself.
And the other thing that we are going to say in the very soon, but it's about the action steps, is the mindful meditation. So when we learn how to turn off our mind and all the answers and everything that wants to quickly say something, and start to, okay, be quiet, be silent, and start to breathe, and you can start to connect with your inner self, and from that point you start to connect with that and start to say that is exactly where you start to separate the noise and start to connect with the spirit. It's like, okay, the noise a lot of times, at least in my in my life, is having a lot of thoughts, and I have like my mind at 100 kilometers per hour, I don't know, or miles per hour. It's going so quick that I don't have any time to really breathe and start to think like, okay, what is really happening? And intuition, in order to work, you need to slow down. You need to bring down everything that is happening inside of you. And it's like, okay, now I want to connect with that and start to find what is the soul, heart, God. So that question that you were doing, Jesse, is specifically that. How I can connect is slow down first, start to breathe, try. I am not saying try to put your mind in like white, like nothing, because that is not really possible. But really start to breathe and connect with yourself, connect with your true self.
A lot
Uh,
like what I had to do 10 minutes before we got on. Because I was so flustered, the technology wasn't working, and my brain just freaked out, and I had to take a few deep breaths. And then the intuition kicked in and said, well, what if you do X, Y, and Z? And that worked. So breathe, slow down.
and really, I am really, I know that normally we, uh, Jesse, you're here, so how we do it? Close your eyes. That's something that I do. Close your eyes and start to breathe. And you can even count how the inhale and the exhale. Just focusing on that, completely focusing on that. And you start like to breathe, close your eyes and you start to breathe. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. And you again start 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale and stop. And when you are doing that, you are connecting with yourself. And you can even, with the eyes closed, you can start to imagine that the air is going to your lungs or going to your mind or going to different places of your body, just to connect with yourself. That's exactly what we are saying. I am not saying anything else, but okay, what is inside of you is the intuition. What is inside of you is the God. What is inside of you is also the nurturing. That is the second part that we're going to be talking today. Uh, Everything is connected. But if I am just listening to everything that is happening outside of me and all the thoughts that I have, and I believe that all the thoughts that I have are true, it's difficult to take decisions. So when I slow down, I bring down everything that I am, like all the rush that I have because I have to answer as soon as possible. Even when you have that, if you stop for 3 minutes and start to breathe and start to connect, you are going to take better decisions. And that helps you with everything. Neuroscience is going to help you to understand that you are going to start to bring even like more flow of blood to your uh, mind and to your brain, and everything is going to start to work better. But normally we are in the rush and we're not thinking about, oh, I am a human being that needs something else. And that's why intuition is so powerful.
Exactly. And then one of the places that makes it possible, one of the subjects is the nurturing, the power of care, the selfless love, the care, and the patience. And for me, one of the hardest people to give nurturing to is me. I like to take care of other people. And so making the time to take care of me is sometimes a challenge. And so the fact that it's a gentle force, it will wait until I've pushed my body too far and I have to stop. And if body breaks, it gets sick, whatever. And then nurturing steps in and says, okay, now do you want to take care of yourself? Okay, fine. And so when we do that, it stimulates the growth and the development and the healing for us and for others, especially when we make a space for them to nurture and be nurtured. And 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 I love this one from Esther Hicks. The greatest gift you can ever give another person is your own happiness. And if we have forgotten how to be happy, sometimes it's a challenge to give that to other people, because we first have to learn how to give it to ourselves. And which moves into the fact that being nurturing, it's the process of creating that very happiness within ourselves. And once we do that, once we light that flame, if you will, then we can pass that on to someone else.
So
And,
nurturing,
go ahead.
nurturing at the end, we focus a lot in how we are helping the world, how we are changing the world, how we are helping our families, how we are helping everybody, but we are not thinking about ourselves. And a lot of times that's exactly the problem. Is who are you focusing on? What are you doing for yourself? And I can tell you this, even from I am a coach, and I have been consulting and coaching for a long time now, and I have to be doing like this exercise or understanding. Okay, what I am doing to nurture myself? Am I doing something? No, that is work. That even that thing that you are learning now is work. So how you are nurturing yourself to start to grow and give that space that we were talking before, that mindfulness that you have, that meditation, that relaxing mode that you are looking to connect to nature, to connect with your kids, to connect with your family, to connect with your friends, but connect not only by saying, yes, I am here and I am connect here, but I am with my cell phone, like answering all the emails and all the messages that I am receiving from work, but really disconnecting from anything else and focusing on the person that you have in front of you. That is connection for me, not only having something in the middle. And that's a way of nurturing when you are being present and you're not focusing about everything that is still missing from tomorrow or everything that I missed from yesterday. But today, how I am today, how I am in this call with you, talking with you, and having a good time with everybody that is listening to us right now.
Absolutely. Is it time to move on to the action steps, I suppose?
Or if you have any comments on this, because I know that this is really, really powerful.
Well, a lot of it comes down to making an environment, whether it's in my mind or a physical environment where I can practice nurturing me, whether it's unplugging and just being for a little bit, or um, having quality time with a friend.
Mm. So we have 5 action steps that we plan for today for to recommend you to start to work on this, on intuition and nurturing. The first one is mindful meditation. That's something that we have been talking. That help us to quiet our mind and everything that we have in our head, everything that is happening, and intuition start to emerge when we do that.
And then the next one, which can be a challenge, is acknowledging our feelings. Honor the feelings that are coming up, and because they're often the voice of the intuition.
And talking about the third one of self care, something that we were saying is okay, what are you doing to be better physically, emotionally, and spiritually? Are you doing something in every area, not only on one? Because normally, like, okay, yeah, physically, I'm going to the gym and that's it. Okay, but emotionally, you doing something? No, I'm not doing anything. Or spiritually, yeah, I go to church sometimes. Once per year, but I'm going. So it's like, okay, what are you doing spiritually? And we are not talking about going to church because you can go and that it's not spiritual. Or yes, it can be, depending on you.
And so the fourth one is helping others. extending our nurturing instinct to others by offering help, kindness, and understanding. And sometimes that can just be a kind word, a smile, those kinds of things.
And the last one, reflect. This is something that for me was very challenging. Like, I start to reflect on everything that I am doing and the good thing that happened during the day, or even having a journal that I can write all the feelings and the good things or the bad things that happen, and how I can. The good thing of doing that helps you to bring a monster, a big monster, to something very little, because you are writing it. Like, when it's in your head, maybe it's big, and when you start to write, like, okay, what is really happening? Is this, and this? Oh, it's not that big. It's not that difficult. So reflecting help you a lot to develop that intuition and that nurturing. So, any last comment, William, to close today?
No, sir. I think we've started a conversation which this could last 3 or 4 weeks all by itself.
So thank you everyone for being here today. Thank you, Jesse and Enrique,
Enrique.
that were talking here with us. We really appreciate you, and appreciate everybody that is. If you are in any social media and you are sending messages, we are more than happy to answer when we are live, or even after we finish. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here with us today. This show can also be heard on the Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and leave it. Thank you, William. Thank you all.